Hello guys, welcome back to Blues Fans TV. Yes, it's me, Sammy, the cameraman. Today I'm joined with Lewis and Lawrence. Sorry, I'm really bad at intros because I'm not used to being on camera. Lawrence, you want to say anything? Save me.
All right, let me save you. Well, hello there, guys, and welcome back to Blues Fans TV. As we're here for a very depressed, shall we say, live stream at the end of, nearing the end of transfer deadline day, with it very much so looking like we're not going to sign anyone. Which,
up the Chels.
Yeah, exactly, up the Chels, which is very fun, especially because, we went through all the hassle of appealing the transfer ban and just spending money on, lawyers and, those kind of costs. Like, we spent more money on actually getting our ban reduced than we actually spent, with having it reduced and now having a window available. Like, it's all just a bit pointless. So that's basically what we're going to talk about today. What this means for the rest of the season. Will we still get top four? What do we think about the board? Possibly we're going to talk about who's to blame, who we could have signed, or is there actually good reason for us not making any signings just because the right kind of people just were not available? Or if they were just too expensive for it to be, a smart decision financially as a club to make those signings. I guess we're going to talk about all of these things. Of course, like Sammy said, Lewis is here as well. So Lewis, do you want to quickly just say something as well?
The typical, innit? Yes, it's typical. The only thing I will say at the start of the transfer window, I was kind of thinking, get someone if we need it, but if not, we've done pretty well in the first half of the season. But the fact that Lampard's come out and he's just made it blatantly obvious that he wants signings, and we haven't given him anything, and all we've really done is play hot potato with Giroud for a month. So it's just frustrating because it's the same old shit that we've done the last couple of years.
It really, really is. It really is. I mean, like I said, we appealed this transfer ban. We got it. We got the decision that we would be allowed to sign players. What was it? Early December or something?
Yeah, we said we were looking for people. Lampard straight up said he was looking for people, and then what have we done this month?
Exactly. Like, Lampard couldn't have made it any more obvious. Like, it was obvious to everyone. He doesn't really rate Olivier, or maybe not doesn't rate him, but he just doesn't think he suits the way he's trying to play football, basically. And the fact that, we're not out looking, like that's what I said in my preview earlier. We should have been out looking for a striker to replace Giroud, or a forward, because I generally actually think we need a winger a bit more than a striker, because, okay, third choice striker, but that's not the be-all and end-all, and Tammy has still scored 15 goals. I don't think that's the problem. I just don't think a winger score enough goals. So someone like Zaha, someone like Mertens, who can play both positions, would have done really well. But the fact that we didn't look out for something immediately when, that all became reality, that we would be able to sign players, just makes no sense. And if they did actually try to find someone and didn't manage to, then they're just doing their job not very well at all, if that makes sense. Because, like, how can it take you this long? Like, it took United forever, but they got a really good player, Bruno Fernandes, over the line, in the end. Spurs, who are known for not signing anyone. Okay, they didn't sign the huge name players, and they didn't actually sign a striker when Kane is out for 4 months, but they still got signings in, and some of them decent signings. Even Arsenal made signings, questionable signings, but signings regardless. And it's just a bit frustrating to see when we're in this position. Okay, I know we are fourth, but, when you look at the bigger picture, we just need top four so badly to make these signings that we apparently want to make in the summer. So like a Sancho, there's no chance Sancho will join us if we're not in the Champions League, because why would he leave Dortmund for that? Especially because there is going to be other big clubs in for him.
Exactly.
That will be in the Champions League. So if we want to compete for these kind of players that we will possibly be, willing to spend the big money for, we need the top four, and we would have needed, so Champions League basically, so we would have needed to strengthen to some extent now, just to make sure that we get top four, because at this point, in my opinion, it's just about luck whether we get it. The fact that we're still fourth now is ridiculous, with 2 wins in the last
common sense, isn't it?
games. It really doesn't. So, people said last season, we only made top four. Came third, by the way, so not just fourth, because everyone else was shit. And to some extent, that was true. I never fully agreed with it, because I was like, well, yeah, but we weren't awful either. Like, our points tally in general wasn't that bad.
We were just the third best team.
Yeah, exactly.
4th, 5th, and 6th were just dog shit.
Apparently, we're the only team to sign a player with a transfer ban and not actually sign players when we don't have a transfer ban. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, very true, very true. And, now we are in this position, and yeah, of course, we can make top four, and we have a good team. And when Ruben is back, of course, the team will improve. Who knows when Ruben actually returns to actually playing, even though he was part of full training again today, which of course is always good to see. it is an issue. Like, okay, we at some point accepted we're not going to sign a centre back. The kind of ones that would have significantly improved us weren't really available anyway. In midfield, we kind of could do with someone, but only if we sold other players, and it's difficult to judge our midfield before Ruben
Here's the thing:
back
midfield's the strongest part of the team, isn't it? So like, I'd rather strengthen everywhere else, personally.
No, I completely agree. It's just the fact of, Mount has been struggling at times. Barkley was good for 2 or 3 games recently, or decent, let's say, but shocking for the rest of the time. Kante has been injured quite a lot this season. Kovacic has been in and out of the team for some unexplainable reason. The only real constant has been Jorginho, who has been decent for most games. Of course, he has had a couple of off games, but the front line is the main issue. And like I said earlier, I don't think the striker is the main issue. Like, it's January, okay, well, almost February, but it's still January. How many times have our strikers scored 15 goals come January? Not that regularly. That's not since
Abraham saved us this season. He saved us. If we know the board are not willing to buy anyone, imagine if we didn't have a good youth striker, which was Abraham. Imagine if we didn't have him. It'd be Batshuayi and Giroud starting every week still.
Oh no. Exactly. But
someone in the comments said, "Where's Chinos?"
You man will see him on Saturday, innit?
Yeah.
Leicester away.
You doing fan cams, Lewis?
Yes, but I'll speak to you off camera.
Ah, cool.
The one thing I will just quickly want to touch on is, in my opinion, like I said, the wingers are kind of more of a problem. I mean, Pulisic has scored 6 goals, but the fact that Pulisic and Jorginho in all competitions are joint second highest top goal scorers behind Tammy on 6 goals. Jorginho obviously scoring most of those from the penalty spot.
What? Jorginho's our second highest?
Yeah, alongside Pulisic, but he scored 3 of those 6 in one game, so it's kind of like,
I didn't even know that.
It's mad,
so
isn't it?
bad.
Like, in all competitions, it's ridiculous. Hudson-Odoi on the right doesn't look like scoring many goals.
But he hasn't played much, to be fair.
No, he hasn't, but I'm just saying, when I see him play on the right, because I don't rate his left foot at the moment very highly, he's a good player and he's very handy to have because his crossing is
just
good
not a
and
scorer.
he actually helps us be threatening, but he doesn't look like scoring much, I don't think, on the right. Willian is very on and off, can score a brilliant goal like at Spurs, but sometimes just isn't. He's a good player. I still think Willian is a good player, but not a final third goal-scoring player, if that makes sense. And then Pulisic is the one that can get into the right areas. But our wingers just don't score enough goals. I mean, Pedro, you see him play and you're like, are you 50? Like, it's depressing. Like, that's why I would have wanted someone like Martins, even at 32. I mean, he still scored 5 goals in the Champions League already this season. You know what I mean? There's only been 6 games, and he only started 5 of them. Like, he would have been a good player. And the whole Saha situation, yes, it would have been expensive. I get the wage problem. Like, it is obviously said that we didn't sign him because his wages were so high that Lampard was worried it would, disrupt the dressing room. And I understand that. But still, the fact that we didn't sign anyone is baffling to me. Like,
I'm going to
tell me there's no options out there.
I'm going to drop a big question. It's clear Chelsea have got a problem with signings. Whose fault is it?
Yeah.
Is it the board's? Is it Marina's individually? Is it Roman? Or is it Lampard?
I think the board's very general, because you can just blame the board and just everyone involved in it. I think if we want to really look specifically, like Lawrence and me were speaking about earlier, I don't really want to blame Marina straight up for it, because I think Marina's got a job. She's had a couple of really shit years for us, but the last couple of years she's decent and she's good at what she does, which is getting good deals over the line for us.
Yeah.
Our problem is scouting. We don't look for players. And we don't look for players well enough, if I'm being honest. We've gone into this January transfer window so unprepared, and it just reeks of the same shit that we've done over the last couple of years. It's repetitive. We're so slow in the transfer window, and it's just shown its head yet again. And we said it to joke and take the piss in the chat, but it's pretty obvious. Best transfer window we've had is the one where we've been banned, and that just says it all about how we operate when the transfer window's open.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. Like Lewis said, I agree that you can't really blame Marina for much, if any, of this. I wanted to actually put this in my preview earlier, but then my recording was too long and I had to cut it out, basically. Because, in my opinion, Marina is an employee to Roman Abramovich. I don't want to call her a marionette, but she's kind of something along those lines, right? And I I don't know if people actually think that she just has this money in her hand and is just allowed to do with it whatever she wants. Roman Abramovich is like how Bruce Buck and whoever keep confirming it is very hands-on. He might not be in the UK, but he's very hands-on. I mean, we're in 2020, right? The internet exists. You can still talk to someone even if you're not in the same country. I'm not in the same country as these two right now. It still works.
There's no excuse, especially where we have all the money and resources. We've probably got the best staff in the world in that position.
Yeah, we had all this energy to push the transfer ban back 6 months, but we
Exactly.
ain't got the energy to do anything in it. That's what's annoying.
Exactly. And to me, like, I agree that the board is to blame to some extent. I don't know the exact, like, how the roles are, like, shared up between the board, as in who's in charge of what. Because to me, in my head, with how the structure of the club is, with having a, you know, main owner in Roman Abramovich, to me, a signing is signed off by Roman Abramovich or it isn't. And then a certain budget for a certain signing is signed off by Roman Abramovich or it isn't. Like, obviously, there were the reports of 150 million of a transfer budget for this January. I mean, clearly that isn't true. Because, like I said, Marina is an employee. If she was given 150 million to sign whoever the scouts thinks is the right player, then she would have just gone and done that.
Exactly.
Like, it's not her money. Like, she doesn't really care. If Roman says, here, you have 150 million, spend it, then she will go do that. But if, for example, like, my favourite example is always the Alexandra one, when we really tried to sign him, and for months, we had, for weeks, every day, we had like, okay, they want 50 million, we just offered them 45 or 40. Well, if Roman gave her that much, then she can't really offer more, can she now?
And the more successful the club is, the more money she gets. So it's a win-win for her. So it can't be her fault.
Exactly, that's my point.
It can't be her being tight.
It's very easy to blame. And if you think that Marina is the only one, you know, taking shots at Chelsea, or like, you know, making, what's the word? Just making decisions at Chelsea, that's just silly. Like, if you think, oh, whenever someone didn't get whoever they wanted, that's just Marina's fault, that makes no sense. Like, it's not just Marina doing everything.
True.
I mean, it's still very questionable why we don't have a sporting director. So whoever made that decision, I kind of want to blame whoever that person is. If Marina made that decision, I don't think so. But if she did,
She's been at the club for a very long time.
She has, but I'm just saying for right now. Like, why was Petr Cech announced as, what is it, sporting and something advisor, a technical advisor? Well, why don't we have a sporting director?
It's true.
Like, why?
I'm just going to quickly interrupt you because Zayn Mayesi has just super chatted a question. So I'd just like to answer him. Zayn said, why is Chelsea and Arsenal so tight? I want to let Lewis answer that because he loves Arsenal.
I love Arsenal waste, man. Why Chelsea? I don't even know with us. Arsenal, they've got their own issues with Stan Kroenke. It's beautiful to watch as an outsider, but that's just their issues. And even though we call them tight, they still spent like, 100 million in the summer window, and they're still 10th. So I think with them, it's just an issue that they got a managerial problem, or they're just a dead club. With us, I don't understand, because we have the money from whatever we earned last season through TV deals, through achievements from finishing third and winning the Europa League. We've got all the Hazard money still yet to spend. We've probably got more money. We got like an entire year's worth of nothing that we just have money saved up for, and we still ain't done nothing with it. So I don't get why we're being so tight.
There's no excuse really.
Nah, I've repeated myself bare times, but it's the same old shit. That's why fans are getting pissed off about it, because only thing with this is that I expected us to back Lampard a little bit better, just because it's Frank Lampard. And you know, it's kind of like the same way with Ole to a little extent, where because you're a club legend, you get given the benefit of the doubt a little bit. I feel like with it being Frank Lampard, he'd get given a lot more than he'd asked for, but no, it's the same shit. Mourinho complained that the board didn't back him. Conte's said the same issue. Sarri said he wasn't backed, and now Lampard isn't being backed. It's the same old story again and again.
Zayn again. Sorry, Lawrence, I know you're about to talk. I'll let you answer this one.
No.
Zayn Mayesi again.
Good.
Wow, so generous. He's donated £10 so far. Zayn, I think you should be the board of Chelsea, because I know you'd be signing players. Zayn said Roman's been spending money on yachts, and Kroenke's been spending money on cattle ranches in the States. That's not a question, it's a statement. That's a good statement, to be fair. Sorry, Lawrence, what were you going to say? But I agree with you, Zayn.
Not the Kroenke.
But you can't compare Kroenke to Roman, though. Roman actually does a lot for the club.
Yeah,
you just got to remember, there's a team in front of Roman. And Roman don't live in England. Don't forget. Roman's obviously got a team to do everything for him in England because he's not allowed to be here.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are questionable at Chelsea because Roman Abramovich is clearly involved and clearly cares. So then we all sat here at the end of the transfer window questioning, so why aren't we signing anyone? It is still weird. Are they actually trying to tell me there was no wingers, no forwards available in the entirety of January? And I get we couldn't get Sancho and Werner and Dembele.
But even Eriksen, Eriksen was peanuts. He went for peanuts, didn't he?
Would they have sold him to us? Probably not.
Hey, they want Giroud. Put some cash in.
Yeah, it's true, isn't it? They were on it.
Put us in charge of transfers.
And even the guy United got for 50 million, that's a bargain.
Who? Bruno Fernandes?
Yeah.
Yeah, even Ed Woodward's been doing shit and we haven't. That is the most telling thing about this transfer window. Even fucking Ed Woodward did something.
It is true. It is true. But
Beep, beep.
guys, do you guys think we're gonna make top 4 at this point? Let's just go with Sammy first.
I think the top 4 is going to end how we see it now, only because Arsenal, Tottenham and United have been so poor. They've given us a free pass of being top 4. Do we deserve top 4? No. But like I said, we've been giving it on the plate.
Do you think that signings will make a difference to that though?
I see Tottenham improving. I see Tottenham improving, but United and Arsenal would. Plus, they've got a history of bottling it anyway.
Yeah. Okay, Lewis, yourself, how do you think top 4 will end up?
I don't know, I'm kind of leaning to what Sammy's saying as well, that the top 4 stays the way it is. Mainly because I think United and Arsenal still got a little bit of the bottle left in them. Arsenal aren't involved in this top 4 conversation, in my opinion. United, I don't want to rule them out just yet, but I still don't think they have enough of what it takes to finish in the top 4. I think who else in this top 4 race? Is Sheffield United and Wolves still about, or is it just Tottenham?
Officially it is Sheffield and Wolves, I guess. But
they're not going to hold up.
Realistically, let's dash Sheffield United out of that. So Tottenham could make it, but they've been slipping up bare this season. I still don't understand it because I still think they've got a really good team to challenge for top 4, but this season they just ain't been at it. So if they keep playing the same way they've been playing, who knows? They probably won't make top 4 either. I don't know though, because it's the thing I'm leaning to is that we've been inconsistent as well. But it's just the same case of last season where we've been saved by the teams below us being shit.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm gonna just lean and say we'll make top 4 because we've been in top 4 the majority of the season, so I'm not gonna say we're gonna drop out now.
Yeah.
Can you guys see the comments?
Yeah.
Zane again for the third time said something as well. If you want to react to it.
Yeah. So Zane again, thank you for the £4.99 donation. He said you need England's richest man to buy you. He was interested, I heard, and the richest Nigerian wants to buy Arsenal. The whole richest, English guy. I mean, reportedly that was true, and he's a season ticket holder as Chelsea, but that's just him being a rich dude. He's
it means nothing.
Fan, so
it means nothing. Newcastle's rich. He doesn't buy anyone. It's nothing to do with money. It's about the love for the club, isn't it? And what Roman did in 2005 is uncomparable to anyone.
Roman has the love and Roman has the money. Okay, that English dude might be a bit richer than Roman Abramovich, but they're not going to spend their entire billions on the club anyway. So you know what I mean? It won't make much of a difference in what we can actually afford. And we can't compete with Man City, but no one can. You can't compete with a country that let's not get into the alleged stuff with things that they've done. If you've read football leaks, some dodgy things in there. I mean, about the richest Nigerian one to buy Arsenal, I don't know. Is he Kalechi? Is he Nigerian? I don't even know. I do apologise.
Oh, guys, we're going to read out the comments in a minute. Because we're getting so many, it's going to be quite difficult to read them out. So if you want to super chat any amount, it will pop up on our screens, and then you would get 100% guarantee that one of us will answer your question. And don't forget to download our OneFootball app, who sponsored this video today. Even if you've got it, delete it and download it again with this app. It really helps us a lot. These brand deals help us go every game. Unfortunately, we couldn't afford for me, the cameraman, to go to Leicester tomorrow, and last week was a bit of a headache as well. So I know you guys think YouTubers make loads of money, but you've got it completely wrong. This channel all goes on travel and stuff, and we don't actually profit much. So it would really help a lot if you guys help this channel grow and try and make us go to every single game to do fan cams every game.
You should see how much I made on the last channel. It's a laugh.
Not this again.
I prefer not to speak.
Not this again. And if you also want to put in a good word with the Premier League, so we don't play at 12:30 anymore, so Sam doesn't cry to me. That's also good.
Yeah, Lewis, what time are you up tomorrow morning to go Leicester?
Ben's got to come up to Wembley for 8 o'clock, so I don't know if I'm sleeping.
So probably 9 o'clock then.
Oh well, up the away days.
Up the away days. Like, someday you're just gonna like fall over and die.
Literally, you know. I feel like after Wolves at home, last game of the season, I'm just gonna collapse after the last fan cam.
Like
especially with third year as well, bro. I've got like 5 assignments during the next 3 months on top. It's so peak for me the next couple months.
Yeah. Just don't do a Jordan on the coach, please.
Fucking hell.
Sorry, Jordan, I love you.
Yeah, we love you, but you need to come on fan cams.
Up the fan cams.
I agree.
Like, I guess there's a couple of kind of last things that we should probably touch on before we get into the comments. Obviously, we spoke about top 4 now. I'm kind of in the boat with Sammy and Lewis. Probably going to make it somehow, but only because Spurs and United are probably going to bottle it too many times. The question is just, what are we going to do? And I'm also in the hope of that it's a little bit like last season. We were good kind of at the start, then bad around the winter period, and then got better again. So that I kind of hope for that, and if that happens again, I'm pretty sure we're probably going to make it, especially when Ruben returns, whenever that again may end up being in March or whatever, whenever that may be. I think he will give us a significant improvement to the squad and to general just our goal scoring. So I think that will help. So I think we're probably just about going to make it, but it is going to be a bit of a dodgy one. The thing just now is, basically going forward, because we haven't spent this window. Well, I mean, there is still 2 hours to go, but we're not going to sign anyone. Tariq Lamptey has gone to Brighton, by the way, if anyone didn't know that.
One loan.
No. We sold him. His contract was going to run out this summer, and he left now because either he would have signed a pre-contract for the summer, or we would have let him go now. Like, you can kind of get it. He's, of course, if someone doesn't remember his name, he's the young right back that came on at Arsenal and obviously impressed quite a lot for the last half hour or whatever it was, and did well in that game. And he was good in that. The thing just is, he's 17, 18, and in his position, right back, Reece James is there with just 20 years of age, and also the current club.
He knows he won't make it.
He's also in that position, so he's never really gonna play. So I guess we just had to do what we had to do. I'm sure. Yeah.
We're gonna go through some comments now. Anne said Lampard said he did not need any players. That's actually not true. The board didn't back him, and if you watch his conference today, he was really angry.
I mean,
Lawrence can go into that.
Yeah, I mean, how Lampard always. Lampard is a clubs man. He's not a yes man by any means. If any of you watched his post-match interview after Hull, clearly not a yes man. But he's not gonna sit there in the press conference and slate the living shit out of the board. He's not gonna do that, is he? Because of who he is. But that's kind of what I was gonna get into, because we didn't spend anything in the summer. We didn't spend anything now. The amount of money we should have available come the summer is ridiculous. Like Lewis said, we have the Hazard money. Hopefully some of the bonuses start to kick in as well. Morata will be paid for. Diego Costa we just got paid for.
Oh yeah, the Morata money too.
Exactly. There's so much money that will come in, and obviously Premier League, depending on where we finish, we're in the Champions League again this season, unlike last season. We don't have any managers to pay off, which is great. Fuck you, Conte, by the way. Because 26.5 million. Love that.
Ben, sorry.
Yeah, but Rudiger. What are we gonna do this summer? Is it just Sancho? Are we gonna sign a striker? Are we gonna sign a striker above Tammy? We're gonna just sign 5 huge players.
Here's the thing: we didn't even need to sign anyone, because I swear, what's his name? Luka Jovic is meant to be on offer for a loan deal or something.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but Arsenal wanted him as well.
An option to buy him, and would you just
that's not even that fine. I mean, for a short-term thing for 6 months, I'd rather take Luka Jovic.
It's true, especially packed us in twice.
Exactly. That guy is a baller. He's had a shit time at Real Madrid.
And whoever scores against us
Chelsea in the first
is
place,
always a
we had
target.
man, didn't we?
Do you remember them days? Whoever scored against us, we bought like a season after. And don't forget, Willian scored against us. Salah scored against us in the Champions League.
Oh yeah.
Literally anyone.
Did De Bruyne score against us?
I can't remember if we ever played him.
Look, we
Lukaku
signed
did,
him before
everyone
that
does.
already.
Hmm.
Messi scored against us.
Does
Yeah.
that mean he's coming?
Messi to Chelsea come back.
Well, we're signing no one at the moment, aren't we?
Yeah, no one. Who knows?
Maybe that's why, because they're planning the heist of the century. We're getting Messi up the Chelsea.
Yeah, but knowing our board, we've probably got the women's team playing in our men's team next season.
Yeah, why not?
Hey, you know what? Some of those female players are ballers, though. That ladies'
That's true,
team
that's
is
true.
on fire.
Also, they're top of the league as far as I'm aware. So,
Oh, is it?
you know, fair play to them. I'm pretty sure they are.
Frank Kirby up
Last
front
time
for
I checked,
Leicester,
it was like-
anyone?
Beat Arsenal in the final, wasn't it?
She's not really in the team much at the moment. I think she's kind of injured half the time.
Oh,
Let me actually check, because I checked like a couple of weeks ago last time the league, and I saw, oh, we're top of the league because we beat Arsenal, which obviously Lewis is happy about. No, we are third, but we have a game in hand, and if we win it, we got 2 points clear. So up to Chelsea women, fair play to them. You know, let's not be sexist. Let's also care about women's football. But yeah, is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Otherwise, let's just get into the comments, I guess.
Well, yes, read a few comments.
Okay. CFC's Sippy said, really good to start, yes or no? I'm saying no. I personally today in my preview said, don't start him tomorrow just because he's pissed me off a little bit. He's acting like Maldini, but hasn't really had a single good game since coming back from injury. And I'm not saying he's been bad, but he's certainly not been the messiah to our defensive problems that some people for some reason thought he would be. And I don't think he's been any better, for example, than Tomori than Zuma have been. So I don't really understand why those two haven't been playing in the Prem. For ages, I said I want to see Tomori and Rudiger play together because I thought that would be an interesting partnership. We still haven't seen that. But at the moment, I thought Christensen just played well in the last few games, even though we haven't got the best results. I thought he was always the better of the two centre-backs. And I just like Tomori. I just think Tomori is brilliant. Again, against Hull, he's just by far the most composed of the centre-backs in possession. And I just trust him the most to like get himself out of a tricky situation. Even because he, like Rudiger and Zuma, they always kick off with their like crossfield balls that they half the time put out of bounds anyway. But Tomori actually plays really good passes, but not even always over the top. Like he actually plays kind of through balls or just hard hit like on the ground passes to the left winger, to the striker that actually come off and push us through the midfield problem when we're being pressed and everything. So I think Tomori is really good. So I would like to see Tomori and Christensen, but I just still think we need to try out more options. Like we haven't tried we haven't seen Tomori and Christensen together, have we? Maybe we have for a game or two, but not regularly. We still haven't seen ever Tomori and Rudiger together in a back two, as in a back four, but a centre back two. So I don't understand why we're not trying things. Like especially now we haven't signed anyone again. Just try things out. Like we're gonna have to get rid of one of these centre backs in the summer.
Did they ever play together in the youth team? Tomori and Chris. They must have.
I don't think so because Tomori is quite a bit younger, isn't he?
How old is Chris?
Actually, he's not that much younger. Tomori is 21, and Christensen is 22, 23. So they're roughly the same age. They might have done, but mind you, Christensen obviously wasn't with us from say 7, like Tomori. So
yeah. Lewis, do you want to answer a few questions?
Yeah, let's see what some of these questions are saying.
Ignore CFC Alex's ones.
Yeah, trying to say I'm overhyping Jovic. You love him at our club. I ain't hearing none of that. Should we play Giroud over Batshuayi?
not tomorrow. He hasn't played in months.
Wait. What's the situation with Tammy? Because I heard we might be playing him injured.
Yeah. So what Lampard said today, basically, he trained today, but he did train with a bit of pain, so they'll see tomorrow how he's doing, but he might just play through the pain with it. Like, it's not like he's significantly injured, he's just still in pain, if that makes sense. Like when you're bruised and you still walk around and it hurts a little bit, but you're actually fine.
Okay, you know what? We're just lucky there's a winter break after this then.
Yeah.
Because if not, that's just really taking the piss.
Yeah. I quickly want to touch on this comment by Richard Hamby. We have 150 million to spend and nothing. What are the board doing? Now, I understand that this is kind of like what people think, but I want to know why are people taking this report as absolute fact, but when other reports say that, like whatever report it may be, when we tried to sign Ashley Barnes, apparently, why was that bollocks? But why is the 150 million, budget why is that fact? I mean, clearly it isn't, because otherwise we would have, with the 150 million, we would have just signed someone big now. Like, if you actually want to spend 150 million and are willing to, you could have just signed them now. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't believe it's 150 million pound budget thing at all.
No.
Nah. We got a decent question here from FP Brick. He says, will Ruben come back the same or better? Now, I'm a bit worried about that one because he's coming off the same injury as Hudson-Odoi, and Hudson-Odoi didn't... He started off well. I'm not going to say he didn't start off well. He's got 3 assists in his first 3 games. But ever since then, he obviously petered out, and he's had a pretty difficult last couple of months. He's starting to come into his own a bit now in January. He's got 2 goals in the last month. But he's had a pretty slow recovery from injury, and I'm worried it'll be the same thing for Loftus-Cheek. That's why I don't really want to see us rushing back.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It's going to take months for him to be back to normal, especially with that leg injury.
It's a tricky one because, like, obviously the Athletic put out a very in-depth article about the whole situation, and apparently his injury was kind of quite a bit worse than Hudson-Odoi's, because Hudson-Odoi's was a clean snap of the Achilles tendon, while Ruben's was not a clean one. It's a bit when you go through it with a sharp knife, or when you go through it with a saw, everything splices up kind of thing in a weird way. That's kind of how I think we should imagine it. So that made obviously the whole healing process be a bit longer, and obviously had a couple of setbacks as well. So I do think that they will take that time with him coming back, possibly a little bit more than with Hudson-Odoi. So I don't think it will be a significant problem. I think it will just take a few games for him to trust his leg again, if that makes sense. But after that, he should finally get into his stride. He just needs to have next season without injuries, because he had his back problems last season. Whenever he played last year, he was brilliant, but he needed to be Sarri could not play him twice in a row. He could not play him Thursday weekend, and people were complaining, why is Loftus-Cheek not playing him? Do you not understand his back problem? The guy can barely walk after a game. He needed just a little bit more rest. So it is said that with yoga and stuff, he got over his back problems now. Of course, he hasn't played, so let's see whether that will actually still be the case when he does come back. And then he just needs an injury-free season. Give Ruben an injury-free season, and he will, in my opinion, give him 2 maybe. He will be one of the best players in the league. I think Ruben is ridiculously good. And I know some people say, I'm overhyping him because I love him so much. And maybe, but Ruben has everything that a footballer could possibly need. Literally everything. If you look at a Ronaldo, who is, of course, the perfect footballing specimen, if that makes sense. Tall to some extent, quick, strong, athletic, can shoot, can use his other foot. Ruben has a decent left foot. He's ridiculously strong. Just his frame is insane. His dribbling, the ball doesn't leave his foot when he's dribbling, but he's still quick with it, which makes no sense. And he can score goals. You can't possibly want
mad.
Exactly. You can't possibly want more from him physically. So, and we know that his technique is there. So if he just gets enough time injury-free, I think it will be ridiculous. And how good it'll be when he comes back is tough to tell, but I still think it will be an improvement to our team, the way Mason Mount has been playing recently. And I think we've just been putting too much pressure on Mason. I think Mason has been suffering from that a little bit. And also kind of still playing injured, apparently, since that, Coquelin challenge against Valencia early in the season. He's apparently not over that ankle problem. So I still think Ruben will improve us. But, how good it will be, I guess we'll have to wait and see. I think I'm going to do one more question that all of you guys can answer, and then we're going to leave it there. Jonathan Ibe said Kepa should leave. Do we have any thoughts on that, guys?
I agree, but to replace with who? For my friends who know me from Chelsea, I've not rated Kepa from day one. I thought it was a bit of a risk buying him in the first place, but he's not the main problem, so I don't know why we're really talking about Kepa right now, because he's not the biggest issue we have. I do agree he's an issue, but it's not that bad to talk about where we really need a striker, a left back, a winger, but there's no one to replace him with, so I don't get the point of talking about it.
Yeah. Okay. Lewis, yourself, you don't agree?
Nah, we spent 70 million on Kepa, so he's obviously going to be a long-term signing for the future, and I think he had a pretty good first season with Chelsea, so I don't want to throw it all away based on the second season. I'm not going to lie, he's had a poor second season. You can't deny the stats, you can't deny what's staring you in the face. Even though I've tried to defend Kepa a lot this season, it's been a poor season from him. But for 70 million and for a goalkeeper that we're meant to be having until he's the age of 30, I think we need to give him more time. I'd say one more season, but I do also agree that maybe we do also need to look for a replacement, give Kepa some competition. Because same thing with let's say the De Gea effect, if we want to try and generalise it a little bit, because De Gea came to England, he had a pretty poor start. He ended up having to compete for his spot with Anders Lindegaard, and Lindegaard was actually starting games over him for a certain period of time. Then De Gea obviously stepped up his game, and from that point on, it was De Gea just starting week in and week out. Maybe it's the same case with Tammy, where he just needs a bit more competition.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying with that. It's obviously it's tricky with the market now. Like, only one goalkeeper can play, so are we really going to sign like an actually good goalkeeper to give Kepa competition? So basically, sign someone to just like be on the bench, or have Kepa on the bench, have 70 million on the bench. Probably not going to happen. The whole problem with the stats is obviously, I mean, shots faced on target, they're not always the same. Like, the stat will say the same thing whether the shot hits the, top of the roof, or whether it goes straight at the keeper, or whether it's right in like the top corner. The stat will say shot not faced, shot on target not faced, whether it's hit straight at him or whether it's in the top corner. So it is a little bit tricky to like always blame Kepa just because the stats say he doesn't save many. When you look at some of the screamers, because he can't save that Rashford free kick, he can't save that Vas cross in Valencia that ends up in the goal, he can't save that overhead kick in Brighton. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain screamers that just happen. And what was it recently? In some games, someone's good. But that Bellerin goal, he can't save that. Like, do you know what I mean?
Nah, I'm not. When it comes to the Arsenal game, I'm more annoyed about the first goal than the second, if I'm being honest. I feel like he could have handled the Martinelli goal a bit better.
It's true, isn't it? He gave him space. And he went the wrong way.
He also dived the wrong way
Yeah.
for it. I mean, it was obvious he was going to open himself.
He was looking at the right.
And he dived bottom left.
Yeah, he was looking where he shot. So I don't know how Kepa went the wrong way.
That's the thing. The Bellerin goal.
You can't stop that. There's people in front of him, yeah. But
there are still some goals from him that he could have done better, and I'll use the Newcastle goal for an example. Granted, poor defending in the 93rd minute, but the ball came straight at him and he flapped out. And my criticism of Kepa from the start, when I first saw him against Arsenal in the 3-2 win, look back at that Mkhitaryan first goal before they equalised. Got a poor hand to it as well, and I was saying he needs to be stronger on his hands. And he got better over it towards the end of that first season, but I feel like he's regressed a little bit in the second one.
Cool. Zayn again. Bloody hell, how much money have you got, mate? But anyway, all love though. Keep them going. Keep them going. Do you guys miss Sideshow Bob? He's doing a great job for us. I actually don't think he's done that good for you, to be honest. He's giving you loads of penalties. He got sent off against us. Zayn's an Arsenal fan, by the way, I think.
Luis.
Even though I think
I don't miss him at all. There's times that we've needed him, but
they stayed at 11.
I don't miss him overall, to be honest.
He's Arsenal's problem now. We've had 7 years of having to defend him. He's your problem now.
Yeah.
Guys, I think I'm going to end it here. I'm going to end it here. Thank you, guys. Wow, we've got 160 live viewers right now, especially for a 40-minute stream. That's quite good for us.
Respect, people. Respect.
Thank you, Lawrence and Lewis, for giving me time out of your Friday night to come on here. I do appreciate it. Before I leave, make sure you download the OneFootball app. They're sponsoring the channel at the moment. They're helping us go to as many games as possible. If you've already got the app, delete it and download it. It does help us, trust me. That's all. Thanks for that, guys. Make sure you subscribe, like this video, and we will see you tomorrow with the Leicester vlog and fan cams, and of course Lawrence's review. See you guys.
Let's hope we win.